Come on in. Come on in. The water's fine. Up off net. Hold up. Here it is. What's up, my people? This is ShowBizz the adult. All right, man. Lord. All of my people up in here. It's Sunday. Boy. Who we got up in here? Merle Dixon, what's going on with you? Bori, 1982, mobile gamer, what's going on with you? Ram, what's going on with you? Sully, what's going on with you? Oops, all right, man, look. Let's get to this live stream. First, I want to say this. Let's have some fun this live stream. Let me see if there's 111 people in here. Okay, let's go hit the Tyson bell. Everybody hit the like button. Good morning, my people. Everybody in the war room. This is going to be a lit live stream. I hope the mic is right. This is going to be a lit live stream. We got to go to war. We got to go to war about a few things. But before we go to war in the war room, we got to talk about this. Wait a minute. A new member, Tony Boswell. Boy. We got to talk about a few things. Congratulations to Connor Ben. Hit the Tyson bell. Beating Formella. He looked good, didn't he, last night? He looked good. Ben was looking good. Connor Ben, he looked great. And that's the Black Two Sugars. Babbage always looks great. I mean, beating little Babbage is a monster, the savage Babbage. That dude is a beast. He looked wonderful. I saw a little defense from Babbage too. So yeah, he wasn't just winging big hooks. And what's my man name? Richard Latto. I've had Lardy. Yeah, Lardy. Losing to our boy Fabio Wardley. Did he take a dive? I don't think that right hook landed. He's for real as a barbarian. Hey, yeah. I don't think that right hook landed from Wardley. Honestly, I got to look at it again, but I don't think it landed. I think he blocked it and he won it out. Richard Lardy, right? Didn't he fight yeah, BS. Didn't he fight Daniel Dubois? Didn't he fight Daniel Dubois? I think he gave in, bro. I don't think they paid him. I just think he won it out. Hit the Tyson bell. So big ass coffee. That's the Black Two Sugars. Yeah, he fought Dubois. I remember Dubois knocked him out. It took him a little Dubois some time, right? 7 rounds. How long did it take Dubois to knock him out? 5, 6 rounds or something like that. Yeah, I just think he won it out. That's the Black Two Sugars. Actually, yeah, he fought Dubois. Actually. Well, we got a lot to discuss. I don't want to mess up. It took 4 rounds. That's about right. Yeah, I remember that. That's about right. It took 4 rounds. Errol Spence versus Vernon Forrest. Well, instead of talking about fantasy fights right now, let's talk about the real fights that's going on. We got to talk about Errol the True Spence looking like a savage. Okay, Errol the True Spence, the way he's looking, he's not just back. He is I'm talking about Errol Spence looked like he did around the time he earned the IBF title. Hit the Tyson bell. That's a different cat than he was when he fought Sean Porter. I'm telling you, that's a different cat than he was when he fought Mikey Garcia. I remember when Errol the True Spence was hungry. I remember how he looked against Van Heerden. I remember how he looked against those boys. That dude looked, I remember how he looked even against Peters, I remember how he looked up until Kell Brook, really. Bundu, that boy. Errol the True Spence is shredded. He looks like a brick house, and he looks mean. He's talking mean. He doesn't look like he can party and bullshit. It doesn't look like he's on that. He's back to the guy that we fell in love with. So shout out to Errol the True Spence. We got to talk about that. Also, we got to talk about the real tasty one, right? You could just taste it, right? Terence Bud Crawford. Every step, he's kind of like Bobby Brown right now. Every little step I take, dog, he is right. Every step away from Bob Arum. And actually, Bob Arum took the big step away from him with what he said. We're going to talk about that. But, Crawford on the zone talking about let me just, we don't know where Crawford's going to go. Is he going to go with Eddie Hearn in Matchroom? Is he going to be by himself? Is he going to go to the PBC? Let's see what Terence Bud Crawford is talking about. Also, we have to talk about Iron Mike Tyson, right? Hit the Tyson bell. Iron Mike Tyson looking good. There's more haters out there than I expect. This is an icon, Iron Mike Tyson. There's no reason to hate on Mike Tyson. There's no reason to hate on Roy Jones Jr. They did it already. You shouldn't feel insecure about them fighting each other. them fighting each other in an exhibition isn't taking anything from your favorite fighter. Why are you hating on those boys in that matchup? We got to talk about that. Maybe there's something I don't know. Also, we got to talk about Callum Smith saying that Canelo Alvarez is too small. Hit the Tyson bell. Yo, they're talking about Callum Smith possibly rehydrating to cruiser for that fight. Look, Callum Smith, what he got, an 8-inch reach advantage, 6 or 7 inches taller? Are we smelling an upset? Oh, can we possibly smell an upset here? Also, we got to give Canelo Alvarez his roses when he could smell them. Canelo Alvarez taking on that boy. Everybody's looking at it as the champion, the bigger guy who has a great resume, Callum Smith. Him taking on Canelo at 4 weeks' notice. I'm looking at it as Canelo taking him on in 4 weeks' notice. I don't see where the disadvantage is for Callum Smith. Canelo may be the one at the most disadvantage, unless you just think Canelo's so great that he's never at a disadvantage. So we have to talk about that. We also got to talk about what Lennox Lewis said about Joe Joyce, right? Didn't Lennox Lewis say something like, Joe Joyce shouldn't be that much of an underdog, and Joe Joyce can possibly beat Daniel Dubois? You guys hear about that? Joe Joyce saying he has the chin advantage. He has the stamina advantage. He has the amateur background, the Olympic background advantage. Talking about he has the age advantage. Lennox Lewis saying that Joe Joyce got the age advantage with the experience, saying that he can walk down Dubois. Dubois can get tired, and Dubois he cannot learn on the road, learning how to box. He's going to try to slug with him, and that's the wrong thing to do against Joe Joyce. Hit the Tyson bell. So where do you guys want to start? That was all an opener. That was just an opener. And that's the black, 2 sugars. Callum Smith sounds like Teofimo. Buxton, what's going on to you? Shout out to you. Spence. Let's start off with Spence. And everybody get in the war room if you're ready. Hey, look. Errol the True Spence is giving me chills, man. Errol the True Spence is giving me chills. Like I said, there was a time where I thought Errol the True Spence forget boxing again. I thought he may not live, let alone ever walk again. This guy is fighting again, and he's looking better than ever. Hold on, we got a Sunday morning super chat. Yo, ShowBizz Sunday, that's right. Been out the live stream, but we back. Black, 2 freaking sugars. That's right. Hit the Tyson bell. We're back. Baby. I took a little time off the live stream. I gave you guys a rest from the war room, let you lick your wounds. Now we're back, baby. All right. Yeah, you see X in the back. That's right. So listen. Errol the True Spence. He looks so vicious. He looks so savage. Y'all must have forgot. He looks like the Errol True Spence that we thought can beat Terence Bud Crawford. He looked like that Errol the True Spence. The #1 welterweight in the world, Errol the True Spence. He makes me feel like, hey, hold on. I'm a little afraid for Daniel Swift Garcia. Don't forget, I'm a Danny Garcia fan. Don't forget, I was looking at Danny Garcia like, hey, man, Errol Spence tried to walk down Danny Garcia. He's going to catch the Bambi legs. Y'all remember that? Canelo walking Errol down. We'll talk about that in a minute. We'll talk about that. Remember that? I was like, the way Danny Garcia times his hooks, the way, don't sleep. Oh, nobody's sleeping. If you're sleeping in the war room about Danny Garcia, wake up. Okay? No one clearly beats Danny Garcia. The one who beat Danny Garcia the most took a loss. The guy hit the Tyson bell. The guy who beat Danny Garcia the most lost that fight. And that's Lamont Peterson. You want to keep it real. Danny Garcia did way better against Keith One-Time Thurman and Showtime Sean Porter than he did with Lamont Peterson, who lost the damn fight. Let's keep it real on that. Look, I was the guy that was like, even before the accident, when they were talking about that quick turnaround, I was the guy that was like, hey, man, Errol Spence going to catch the Bambi legs. I was sure of it. Errol Spence is going to catch the Bambi legs, messing around with Danny Garcia. Now look, let me tell you something about your chin. Your chin has a lot to do with the shape you're in. Hit the Tyson bell. If you didn't know that, want me to give you an example? How about that left hook that Showtime Sean Porter took from Errol the True Spence? That left hook Showtime Sean Porter took from Errol the True Spence is the type of left hook that had Bundu sleep. Sean Porter took that left hook, was out cold for 0.128 seconds. Bam! He went to sleep and he woke up before his knees can buckle. Bam! His eyes were everywhere, looking like Steve Willis. Steve Willis, I know you're watching. All right. That wasn't a joke, but it kind of was. He hit him, bam, dude looking like Steve Willis. Then he wakes up, glove touched the ground, and then he has enough in him to say, let's go. And then he gets back business as usual. That's not just his chin. My bad, y'all. Hey, Steve, don't get me later, brother. Hey, matter of fact, hey, let me help. Hey, Steve has a podcast. Everybody go by Steve Willis's podcast. You'll find it. Steve Willis, come on to the War Room and put a link to your podcast if you're awake this morning. That's how, because Steve Willis will roast me for an hour and a half in the DMs on Instagram, and I'm not about that life right now. Anywho, yeah, he's the best referee ever. Anywho, that was Showtime Sean Porter being in shape. That wasn't just his chin being made of granite. That was the condition he was in. So you can condition yourself to have a great chin. So I'm speaking about Errol the True Spence, the condition he's in. Okay, this guy is cut up like a bag of dope. This dude got so much. He got so many depths. Like he got so many slices in his back. Okay, I mean, this guy got tiger stripes everywhere. He's vasculate. This guy is just shredded, and all of that up his neck, his face, his head is in shape. His head is. I think I saw abs in his skull. This man flexed his skull, and I saw a six-pack. All right. Now I'm wondering, can Danny Garcia, can he give him Bambi legs? Hold up. Porter got a built-in mouth guard with that overbite. Hey, bro. Hey, bro. Hey, bro. Oh, hey, bro, you need to go to hell in gasoline draws. I'm going to tell you that right now. For that statement, So look, but no, that's true though. When you have big teeth, that's a strong scalp. That's why I said Gary Russell, please. All right. So it's going to be hard to give Errol Spence Bambi legs. The shape he's in, it's going to be hard to do. And I'm thinking if Danny Garcia can't give Errol Spence Bambi legs, he lost. I love Danny Swift Garcia. You know I do, Danny. You know I do. But in talking to Danny, this is how I feel. I don't think Danny Garcia can outbox Errol the True Spence. When people talk about how good of high-low sports, what's up with you, brother? Thanks for the super chat. Boy. When everybody talk about Terence Bud Crawford, how good of a boxer he is, Errol the True Spence is underrated as a boxer. He is. He is. Do I think Terence Bud Crawford got more skills than Errol Spence? Yeah. Does that mean he'll beat Errol Spence in the fight? No. No. Does he have more skill? Yeah. I don't know who wins that fight. It's getting closer and closer now. But Errol the True Spence can box his ass off. You disagree? You think Danny Garcia, you in the war room right now. You think Danny Garcia, everybody in the war room, listen to this. Who thinks Danny Garcia can outbox Errol Spence? Or unless you're Team Garcia. If that's the case, go ahead. I mean, what do you want me to do? Okay. If you're Team Danny Garcia, if you're on his squad, I can't. There's nothing I can say. Here, look at Merrill Dixon. I don't know. No, I do. Possibly. Hell no. 0% chance. There's no chance, bro. There's no chance. Unless if you Danny Garcia, rep your hood. I mean, come on, Tyson Bell. Do you. But, you know. I'm sorry. Danny not a boxer. He's a brawler. I agree. I disagree there. I think Danny Garcia is a boxer. I'm going to quote the words of the late and great Nazim Richardson. Give him the Tyson Bell. He said that boy can box. He said the boy can box. Okay, so he can box. He's not a brawler to me. He's a boxer. He's a boxer. He's a counter puncher. He's a boxer puncher. There you go. He's a boxer puncher. He's a counter puncher. But he hits hard. You know, because it's kind of like, was Sugar Shane a boxer? You know, he wasn't a slugger. Sugar Shane Mosley was. How about Errol Spence? You know, he's like it's a boxer puncher. You know, sometimes I look at Sugar Ray Robinson and be like, dog, what was that? If Sugar Ray Robinson wasn't slick, though he could be. Shit, hell, sometimes I look at Terence Bud Crawford and be like, but anywho, with that said, I don't think I think he has to give him Bambi legs. I think he has to drop Errol Spence. That's going to be hard to do. But he has to hurt him multiple times. Thanks for the super chat. Boy, Gerald C. Classic. I think he has to drop him a few times or hurt him to get Errol Spence out of his game plan. So I'm not saying he has to knock him out to beat him. I'm saying he has to discourage Errol Spence from dictating the fight. And then he can do what he wants to do. It's not just about knocking him out. Danny Garcia can drop him. Danny Garcia can hurt him. Danny Garcia can give him Bambi legs, get him in trouble, and discourage him. So Danny Garcia is good for that. He discouraged Keith one-time Thurman. But Keith one-time Thurman, after he got discouraged, he got fully on his bicycle. It wasn't even a exciting fight anymore. You know what I mean? Like, it's different than Floyd Money Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather, he boxed, and I like the way Floyd moves. I like the way, you know, I never saw Floyd as a runner. He stood on his 2 feet flat-footed too often in the fight to be a runner. He was slick. It's like calling James Toney a runner. But Keith one-time Thurman ran. You know I ran, baby. Don't duck me, son. You know I ran, baby. You know what? I'm sorry, Keith. I gotta break your balls. You know I'm good for that. Garcia still caught with the left hook a lot. Yeah. He got caught. He got caught, baby. Because Keith Thurman hurt Danny Garcia. Keith one-time Thurman. Hold on, let me get my ponytail out. Keith one-time Thurman, he hurt Danny. He did. But Danny hurt him back. Hold on. I got a receipt. He got more forehead. Keith one time thought he got more forehead than this, dog. I gotta, you know what? I'm gonna shave. I'm gonna give myself what's my name? A George Jefferson. I'm gonna give myself a George Jefferson, dog, just to wear this wig right. You know what? I gotta. I had to break his balls, but listen. He got on his bicycle. So I'm saying, in order for Danny Garcia, yeah, hit the like button, everybody. Hit the like button. Let's get 500 likes in here. Keith's gonna kill us. Yeah. Oh, Buxton, we're done. Okay, if he sees me, you, anybody else in this community, Merle, Ninja, any of y'all, BK, anybody who supports me, oh, it's on site. And that's my fault. Any of y'all who supports me, if you show up at a fight once this COVID is over, and Keith one time Thorman sees you, it's on site. All right, so look. So look. Danny Garcia, he doesn't have to knock him out to beat him. I'm saying he has to discourage him. But with that said, Errol Spence looked like a savage. So much so that he's talking about Canelo Alvarez, which makes me think, is he going to fight Bud Crawford? Like, I like that shirt, Biz. Oh, all right, man. Look. Yeah. Go in the description box. It takes you to my website. You can purchase the merch. Is he gonna fight him down? Like I got a lot to talk about with this. And y'all in the war room, get busy. Get busy. It's going to get heated. And let's get heated on a Sunday. Let's get heated. Is he going to fight him? John M. said there's no chance. Because I got a rebuttal for my own question. If Bud keeps that belt. ShowBizz merch. Thanks, BK. I hope. Hey, BK, I got something for you, man. Hey, email me your address to the Facebook, bro. Email me your address to the Facebook. No, Crawford should go to PBC. He don't respect Garcia. Wait a minute. BK, damn. Yeah. Errol, wait, hold on. Wait a second. There's so many people in the super chat. Hell no. He wants to cash out his ode to Canelo. Okay, it's on. It's on. It's on in the war room. It's on. Hell no, Brent. I agree, BK. I think steel goes to the body. Danny can't hurt you if you're smoother. Smoothing. Oh, his counter punches. Oh, okay, I got you. His ego thing. Look. I'ma say this on record. Okay, and I'm gonna hear it later because I got somebody who's in boxing right now who are like, hey, bro, like, Terence Crawford is the dude. When you going to realize that? And I do. Terence Crawford is the number one fighter pound for pound, in my opinion, right now. He edged out Canelo Alvarez to me right now. But with that said, the only one out of the two that's talking about not fighting is Terence Bud Crawford. The only one out of the two that's literally talking about not fighting is Terence Bud Crawford. Hit the Tyson bell on that. I ain't saying that Terence Crawford is scared. I ain't saying that he's not good. He's the best fighter pound for pound. But let's talk about this. The only one that's talking about not fighting Errol Spence or not having that fight is Terence Bud Crawford. And that's the facts. There you go, Buxton. That's the facts. When Errol Spence was coming back to take on Danny Garcia, Terence Bud Crawford said, I don't want to fight him next anyway because I don't want to fight him after the accident. Hit the Tyson bell on that. Remember your Pac-Man compared to Crawford, and how do you feel now that Bud got the KO? Well, remember your Pac-Man compared to Crawford. I feel the same, that Crawford would beat him. That's how I felt this whole time. Look. Then he's talking about fighting Manny Pacquiao next. He ain't talking about fighting Errol Spence next. He ain't talking about waiting to see what happens between Errol Spence and Danny Garcia next. He's talking about Manny Pacquiao next. Hit the Tyson bell. No, I'm fighting everybody. All my belts, I hit the damn Tyson bell on that. No, I'm fighting everybody. All my belts. Hit the Tyson. Dude, who are you? No, I'm fighting everybody. All my belts. Hit the Tyson. You know what? You know what? All you fighters who be coming in under different names, bro, you don't got to do that here in this community. All you fighters who come in, listen, I'm not sure if you're a fighter or not, but I know there's a few of you, and you guys have told me in the DMs, like, hey, I'm so-and-so, so-and-so. Bro, just be you up in here, bro. It's all good. But listen though. Crawford, he is talking about fighting Manny Pacquiao next, not Errol Spence. Okay. Now here's where things get foggy for people. Errol Spence messed around and said 60-40. And really, that is that bull. And that's the black two sugars. Errol Spence, look, Errol Spence is talking about fighting Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford, he doesn't mention Errol Spence like that. But as far as next, but with that said, Errol Spence said 60-40. And that's that bull 100%. And that's the black two sugars. And we'll talk about why. I need more coffee. We can talk about why. You want to talk about why? Because here, how many of you think that Errol Spence deserves 60-40? Come on in the war room. Let's go. It should be at least, it should be 50-50 for sure, but let's go. How? Errol is bigger. Bigger what? Pause. 55-45. No. Errol sell, Bud don't. Get that out of here, bro. Get that out of here. I do 100%. Y'all can kiss my ass. Look. Terence Bud Crawford is the #1 fighter pound for pound. Terence Bud Crawford he beat Kell Brook way more handedly than Errol the True Spence did. And hold up. Wait 1 second. These guys haven't learned anything from Tyson Fury and Wilder. They haven't learned anything from Tyson Fury and AJ. What did Tyson Fury and AJ say? Who's bigger, AJ or Fury? AJ. AJ is bigger than Fury. But what did they say? 50-50 split. And in the rematch, 60 to the guy who won. Hit the Tyson bell. That's what you do. You're right, Biz. Absolutely. If you want to make the fight 50-50 split, let's have a rematch clause, 60 to the guy who won. They ain't learned that. The heavyweights getting them in. Al Heyman and Bob Arum, they've done big time fights before. Wilder and Fury. Why? Because of stuff like that. They've crossed the street before. Bob Arum, Eddie Hearn. They've already pre-agreed to cross the street. 50-50. Fighters be wanting to fight everybody, but be scared to be seen in your chat. Errol too big for Bud, and and is big enough for Canelo right now. Okay. And I like what you said at first. Scared to. Why did Crawford? Wait. He beat a broke Brook. Bro. No, you don't go anywhere. No, I don't mean literally get out. But what I mean is, come on, bro. Errol is genuinely more mean. Oh, bro. No. Thanks for the super chat, but no. No. Rome, $10 super chat. Why did Crawford come to 147? If he feel he doesn't need to fight the best in the division. I know what you're referring to. Spence was asked a question if he would accept 60-40. He said yes. Good move. Good talk. He didn't just up and say that. That is the comment. We're gonna talk about that. I thought Crawford said that in his interview. Okay, look. Well, he did say that in his interview, but look, doesn't need to fight the. Okay, so what Rome is referring to is Terence Bud Crawford said, I don't need Errol Spence. Like I said to begin my argument, but out the two is talking about not fighting the most out the two. I don't know what is going on with this whole Errol is afraid of Bud talk. Errol ain't afraid of Bud. Bud isn't afraid of Errol. But out the two, Bud is the one that's saying, okay, I guess the fight won't happen then. I don't need Errol. He sounds like that more than Errol. Biz, that fight is destined not to happen. Too many butts. That's how I'm feeling. Now, here's what I'm getting from Errol Spence. And Rome, that was a great comment. Here's what I'm getting from Errol. Sent a message to face. All right, thanks, BK. Here's what I'm getting from Errol Spence. His time is running out in 147. That's why he's talking Canelo and stuff like that. His time is running out at 147. The guy can't do it anymore. Okay? It reminds me very much of my favorite fighter ever, Roy Jones Jr. It reminds me very much of Roy Jones Jr. Roy Jones Jr. could not anymore. I wanted him at middleweight. He couldn't, bro. When you look at Errol Spence, he is not, he doesn't have an ounce of fat. He is as thin as he can be. You can tell by the volume of his muscles. They're huge, but he can't. It's like, dude, I can't keep doing this. I'm getting more sick than anything. Errol Spence is looking like he's bigger than Kell Brook. Hit the Tyson Bale. ShowBizz, please help me understand why Spence is better than Crawford. Is better than Crawford. He's not. He's not better than Crawford. I got Crawford pound for pound number one. He may be a better boxer than Spence, but I'm not saying that doesn't mean he beats Spence. Look, you gotta look. Who was a better fighter? Who was a better fighter in your opinion? Muhammad Ali or Ken Norton? Ken Norton arguably beat Muhammad Ali 3 out of 3 times. Hit the Tyson Bale. My mother says this to this day. Ali couldn't get past Ken Norton. I'm like, Ma, he beat Ken Norton 2 out of 3 times. My mom like 2 out of 3, 3 out the shmee, bro. Ali couldn't get past Ken Norton. Why not make the fight 40-40 and the last 20 to the winner? I saw that on Twitter. That makes sense. I remember Roy Jones was trying to do that with B-Hop when B-Hop was calling out Roy, before Roy ended up getting knocked out by Tarver and all that stuff. After Roy fought Richard Hall and beat Richard Hall, he was like, dude, 60-40 to the winner. So, yeah, that makes sense too. That makes sense. But listen, so that's what I mean. Crawford is a better boxer, in my opinion, than Errol Spence. From what I've seen, because there's people, we're getting over time, but forget it. There's people who, because we have more to talk about, but there's people who have observed Errol Spence do way more when he's practicing and stuff. It's kind of like what people say about Tank Davis. He's way more than what you see. It's just that he can get you out of there. I might as well get you out of there. Why play? When Errol Spence displayed his abilities against Mikey Garcia, everybody was like, he has no power. He didn't get him out. It's like, see, that's why I got to keep knocking people the hell out. You know what I mean? Bud Crawford is knocking out all welterweights. He's knocking out all bums. Hit the Tyson Bale. So, but from what I can tell, Terence Bud Crawford is a better boxer than Errol the True Spence. But that does not mean he beats him. That does not mean he beats him. Errol Spence will mess around and knock him out. You know, it does not mean he beats him. Let's move. Hell, Mikey Garcia may have more skills than Errol Spence. Mikey Garcia may have, not to say Errol Spence got crazy fundamental skills, but I'm just saying Mikey Garcia, one hell of a fighter, one hell of a skillful boxer. Errol Spence is a tall order, bro. So here's the thing. High Low Sports, thank you so much for the super chat. Here's the thing. Hit the like button. Yeah, we got 700, almost 800 people in here. Please hit the like button. Here's the thing. Errol the True Spence versus Canelo. And we're going to talk about this Canelo fight coming up. We got a ton to talk about. I'm like super behind. We may have to go 2 hours or something. See, there's more super chats coming. Y'all want to get live. Spence got more weight behind his punches, though, Biz. Wait, man. Yeah, but I don't know if he hits, man. Yeah, but I'm not even sure anymore if he hits harder than Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford knocking out all welterweights. Have you ever seen Brook knocked out like that? And I know you're going to say, he's broke. He wasn't. All right. He wasn't broke for the past 3 years in his last fights at super welterweight. He wasn't broke. Okay. I've never seen Brook hurt like that. It's not like Brook's been knocked out so many times that he's on his Amir Khan. He's never been knocked out. He's been stopped, but not knocked out. Terence damn near did it with a jab. Terence invented a punch and knocked him out. I don't even know what that was. What was that? A hook? A jab? An overhand right from the southpaw position? What was that? What was that? He invented a punch and knocked Brook out. Hell, did you hear Showtime Sean Porter capping? Showtime Sean Porter was totally capping, talking about Kell Brook just quit. He didn't want to fight. No, he was hurt. That big head, that big man was hurt. That's called, he was hurt. But he has more weight. Yeah, Errol Spence got more weight behind his punches, but I don't know if he hits harder than Terence Crawford anymore. I don't know anymore. You can mess around and develop your punch over time. Now, punches are born and not made, but you can, all you need to do is look at Jermell Charlo. Jermell Charlo wasn't knocking everybody out the way he is now. You can develop that. Terence Crawford has developed himself to be a knockout artist. Do you think Danny is more dangerous on the inside or outside being a counterpuncher? Okay, that's a good question. Mike Garcia didn't win a round against Spence. No. Because of the size disadvantage and the reach and the fact that Errol Spence is a great boxer at that size. So the good little man couldn't beat the good big man. You feel what I'm saying? That's why because it showed Errol Spence couldn't box. But that's what I was trying to say. Mikey Garcia, to me, may have more skills than Errol Spence. Errol Spence still outboxed him using what he has. Do I think Danny is more dangerous on the inside or out? I think he's dangerous, Brent. I think Danny is dangerous at the range that Errol Spence is dangerous. That's why I always thought Spence could catch Bambi legs, because they both got that mid-range power. So I think it's where he knocks everybody out. He's dangerous where Spence feels he can strike a hard shot. That's where Danny is going to get off. When Errol Spence tried to get him out of there, that's where Danny's going to sneak that in. He's going to bam. That's where because if you think about it, look at how Danny hurts people. His arms, his hook is almost totally extended. He throws it from the shoulder. His hook is not like this. It's almost totally extended when he throws it. Think about it. He's a mid-range. He has mid-range power. Crawford diminished his own victory by saying in multiple post-fight interview, Brook was not the same and not compared to Spence. But we still do. Shake my head. Yeah. I don't allow another man, even if it's Terence Crawford, I don't allow him to manipulate my mind. I know where Carol Brook was at. I know where he was at. Terence Crawford Terence Crawford contradicted himself. He said that Kell Brook was better against him than he was against Spence. Hit the Tyson bell. Terence Crawford is just saying nobody's on my level, bro. That's basically what he's saying. But I know where Kell Brook is at. I know. Hey, you just whooped a dope dude. You just whooped a dope dude, bro. Period. That's all. If it was easy for you or not, you whooped a dope dude. Period. Because Kell Brook was ahead on the scorecards when he got knocked out. What do you think about Spence's footwork? Beautiful footwork, especially for what he's trying to do, knock you out. That's why I think Jermell Charlo is one hell of a fighter. He puts himself in the position to have full leverage on every shot, even his jab. He always in position to have full torque on every. That's footwork. That's footwork. So Errol Spence is nice with his feet. Boy, is he nice. So yeah, let's talk about he was weight drained and it was fixed. You can say whatever you want, bro. Whatever makes you feel comfortable at night, Samuel Peterson. Whatever makes you feel comfortable at night. If you want to diminish Terence Crawford as much as possible, you might as well say Terence Crawford had egg-shaped weights in his gloves. Whatever makes you feel good. That's what everybody else is doing. That's what fans of everybody else do. Say he had egg-shaped weights. Take some pictures of a few frames in the fight, please. Put it up. Say that his glove was flat there. Do whatever it takes. Do whatever it takes to make you feel great for yourself. The truth of the matter is, Terence Crawford whooped that ass that night. That's just it. Brook had no comeback at all after being hit. He didn't even think to hold. Right. Spence will handle being hit better. Right. Spence is a natural southpaw. Right. I believe he has a better boxing style than Brook. Yeah. All facts. The reason why Kell Brook didn't think to hold, he couldn't think. Hit the Tyson bell. Do you remember when Tony Weeks was like, hey, so-and-so was talking to him, and Kell Brook was like, what? What's going on? He was gone. And that's the thing about Showtime Sean Porter, that the one thing I didn't like, I love Showtime Sean Porter, by the way. That dude he's one of the best boxers to me in the world. I don't care about his record. But with that said, what Showtime Sean Porter didn't appreciate is we didn't feel the punch, and it didn't look that hard, but we didn't take the shot. All I know is when it was said and done, he didn't know where he was, so you knew the fight was over with. You knew it was over with. He didn't know, and you can say that makes no sense for him not to know where he's at. Maybe he's dehydrated. Maybe he wasn't ready. Maybe Terence Crawford is on steroids. Maybe he's on PEDs. You see how big and ballooned his chest was? Maybe Terence Crawford had egg-shaped weights in his glove. Maybe he just caught him and hurt him. That happens. It's been happening in boxing since 1681. The Butcher and the Duke. It's been happening in boxing since then. Don't worry about it. You don't have to make things up in your head. You don't have to. Here's the thing. If we can move on, because we had an hour on this subject. Let's talk Errol the True Spence versus Canelo Alvarez. All right? A real good shot. A shot I've never seen that type of punch before. He invented the punch. Let's talk about Sean Porter will fight anyone, especially now that he doesn't have a belt. Hit the Tyson bell. He wasn't talking like that when he had the belt. When he had the belt, he was talking about Terence Crawford. We're friends. You see what I'm saying? Now that he does have a belt, he wants that work. But nothing against Sean Porter, though. Crawford finally pulled me to his side last fight, but I still have doubts about his chin. Crawford finally pulled me to his side, but I still have doubts about his chin. Oh, you're going to have doubts about his chin. That's something you should doubt. Terence Crawford isn't the most durable human being in the world, durable fighter ever, but you got to get to his chin, and he has heart. It's not like his chin can absorb a bunch of things, but if you rock him, you better keep him down. If you rock him, you better sock him. Okay, you better keep, because he's a mean mother. There's people you can drop. You better keep him down. You better keep him down. There's people you can wobble. You better stay on top of him because Terence Crawford is no joke. Bud punch looked like Ali Phantom punch. No. Well, if you want to, it didn't look like the punch at all. But if you want to say it felt like it, yeah. It felt, when you saw it, you were just like, that, you know what I mean? that was my look. I was like, you know what I mean? I didn't even when I rewatched the way I called that fight, I didn't even say what punch it was. I was just like, oh, he's hurt. Like I didn't say he hit him with a jab. Oh, he's hurt. I was just like, what the hell? Ali was stepping to the side and he threw an anchor punch with the right hand across the body. Terence Crawford threw it from the southpaw position and it looked like a jab, but he hooked it at the end. It was like, bam. It was just, that's what I'm saying. His hand-eye coordination, his brain, his thinking, how he can change up in mid-punch. Roy Jones did that against Montel Griffin. Look at that punch when he hit Montel Griffin with. He came to the side and he stopped for a minute. So Roy was going to throw a hook, but he readjusted it when Montel kind of ducked. And so he paused in the mid-punch, and then the power came from mid-punch up. Bam! And he knocked out Montel Griffin. I was like, he threw it and paused, and then boom. That is the type of stuff that Terence Crawford is doing. You know, that matrix, that weird shit. That's like, what? Brooke is a broken fight. The proof is in the fight in itself. Got knocked out with the jab, but I still think Bud is a great one. I don't know. What's broken about him? He's concussed. He never had if Terence Crawford, common man, if Terence Crawford, thanks for the super chat too. If Terence Crawford would have broke his orbital bone or broke his cheekbones, I would have been like, he's a broken fighter because it's working off of an injury, something that he's been injured with. He knocked him out. Now, I haven't seen him knocked out. I haven't seen him look punchy. I haven't seen him look like when Terence knocked out Amir Khan, knocked him down rather. I was like, that dude head is mush. Brooke doesn't have that. He caught him at the tip of the chin, and that's that torque on the chin. It knocks anybody out. It's just that we didn't know that punch had so much power on it. That's all. That's all. But it's all good. It's all good, Common. It's all good. Let's agree to disagree. But please get Best Boxing Channel. Thank you so much. But please, it's apparent right now. Let me tell you something about this community. It's apparent right now. There's a lot of people talking. There's a lot of people talking. Okay. And truth be told, if it wasn't for COVID, this community would probably be on TV. Hit the Tyson bell. I was almost on TV at the beginning of the year, but that deal fell through. But we're like, this community is something else. Hold on 1 second. Let me display the Tyson glove for a minute. So don't forget, I'm giving away this Iron Mike Tyson boxing glove, autographed by Iron Mike Tyson. It's authentic, certified. Here's the certificate of authenticity. That's Iron Mike Tyson's autograph, and I'm giving it away next weekend during his fight with Roy Jones Jr. You have a chance to win this glove. You got to be a subscriber, hit the like button, and you have to share this video. There's a few of you guys are really stepping up and really sharing. Even Brent Jones is jumping up now. So yeah, I'm giving this away. This is sponsored by busr.com. Go to busr.com/showbiz for all of your betting needs. They sponsored this. And the reason they were able to sponsor this, if you don't know, I lost $10,000. Let me tell you how down BUSR is for this community. I lost 10 grand in that fight with Lomachenko versus Teofimo Lopez. I lost $10,000. A lot of people were, because I bet on Lomachenko to win. And they grabbed that money. I mean, there is no gambling site or business that has a heart. But they grabbed that money and was like, hey, man, we're gonna grab a portion of this and give this back to your community. That was a big loss. And they were just like, we're gonna make it work for you. So we had a conversation. They're talking about giving away an autographed Manny Pacquiao Trunks next. That's if Manny Pacquiao takes on Terence Bud Crawford. So let's hope that fight happens. They're talking about giving away the no fear trunks. So BUSR.com loves this community. So, give the love back, make your profile, all those things. Bud threw that punch, southpaw from that stance. His jab is like a cross, being that Bud is naturally right-handed, right? Not to mention it was well placed. Absolutely. His power hand is in the front, So yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So everybody like, subscribe, and share. So can we please talk about, we're going on 2 hours now. So let's get this going. Can we please talk about Errol Spence versus Canelo Alvarez? Errol Spence talking about new member, boy. He called out Canelo Alvarez saying that he'd like to be at 160 take on Canelo. That is a holy shit fight. Like, that fight is the fight. Like, Errol Spence versus Canelo, he knows is bigger. What's bigger to you? Before I say this, by these casuals' definition, Ali should have been shot after Ali versus Frazier won. Kell Brook was ready and not diminished, just got caught into Tyson Bell. What's a bigger fight? Errol the True Spence versus Canelo, or Errol the True Spence versus Terence Bud Crawford? What's the bigger fight? Just say Canelo or Crawford. Canelo. You see what I'm saying? Canelo. You see what I'm saying? You see what I mean? So Canelo is talking about going to 160. He knows if Canelo picks Bud Crawford over, if Spence picks Bud Crawford over Canelo, that's just him having integrity and saying, I want to be undisputed before moving up. That would be his own thing. But Canelo's a bigger fight. No, it's not Crawford. Canelo's a bigger fight. The world knows this. The boxing world knows this. Errol Spence knows this. Reynoso knows this. Reynoso said, Canelo Alvarez and Spence, we could do that. But he said, we haven't gone down to 160 in a minute. So getting down to 160 would be kind of like the problem. But, he has to fight Jamal Charlo anyway. Reynoso was like, we'll move down. We can move down. They know. Canelo, then it won't be no weight bully talk. Here's the thing. Canelo may be seen as the weight bully. People always got something to say. You can't shut up anybody. I released that Mike Tyson passed the PED drug test, and everybody said, you believe that? Do I believe that? He did. You going to really believe Mike Tyson is too shredded to look like you? Golly. People always going to have something to say. Brook didn't even think to drink to get himself ready after the weigh-in. Crawford was drinking up in their interview. Brook just looked dry. Willie, now it's down to them drinking water. What you saw them drinking. You don't know what he drank or didn't when the cameras was off. You're basing his loss on what you saw him drinking or not. That's how things says. He lost because he didn't drink water when I saw him in an interview. You know what I mean? That's where things are getting now. It's crazy. It got to be every bit of information got to be given to you specifically. Like Spence stops Bud, and this is the best channel out 100. Hit the Tyson bell. So look, Canelo has never fought down. Canelo always fights up. Him moving back down, people going to say something. They're going to say something. Oh, he moved down. He always fights up. He have to come down to fight Errol Spence at one. And Errol Spence will be jumping up 3 weight classes. 3 weight. Oh, right. Still, great fight. I love that fight. I think Canelo beats him. I think Canelo is a special boxer who will beat him. Okay. With that said, so hit the Tyson bell. Errol Spence don't have to dare to be great based on what ShowBizz thinks. Who is ShowBizz? So I think Canelo would beat him. Who cares? I told this other guy when they were talking about there's no way Mike Tyson should fight for the belt. He's delusional. You're delusional if you think. Well, in order to do the unthinkable, you got to be delusional first. Hit the Tyson bell. Who cares what I think? Dare to be great. Top 3 fights: Canelo versus Charlo, Andre versus Spence, Bud versus Pacquiao. I don't see that because nobody's talking about Andre versus Spence. But if you're talking about what you would rather, top 3 fights for you, okay. But I don't think Errol Spence got much of a chance against Canelo. But so I would love to see the fight, though. I would love to see the fight. Now, let's talk about Callum Smith versus Canelo Alvarez. Callum Smith, we got 5 minutes. It ain't going to happen. Let's run over to like an hour and 30 because we can't squeeze all this in 5 minutes. It's not going to happen. We talked about Spence versus, I didn't expect talking about Spence versus Crawford for an hour. I didn't. So here we go. Canelo Alvarez versus Callum Smith. Callum Smith said Canelo Alvarez is too small. Does he have a point? Callum Smith got one. He's a champion. He got a very good resume. Nobody has beaten post Mayweather Canelo. Say what you say. I don't know much about Callum Smith. Okay. That was the realest comment you can think of. Call him Callum Smith. Call him Smith. That's BK, you're funny. He lost that Triple G fight. Conor Ben was good. Yeah, we spoke about that to open up the Canelo going to whoop that ass. Well, look. He was small against Kovalev. What's the difference? The difference is Callum Smith is in his prime. Kovalev wasn't. That's the difference. The difference is there's no rehydration clause for Callum Smith. So Callum Smith is talking about coming in at cruiserweight. Wasn't there a rehydration clause for Kovalev and Danny Jacobs? People were calling Canelo Alvarez Mr. Rehydration Clause. Come to find out, it was Golden Boy, not Canelo. Canelo doesn't care. Canelo doesn't care. So, hold on. Ryder beat Smith. I think so too. So Callum Smith is talking about coming in as a cruiserweight with an 8-inch reach and 7-inch height advantage. And you beat my brother. And you beat my brother. Now, do you guys think possibly there can be an upset? Because look, Callum Smith got the better resume out of Benavidez, out of everybody 168. Caleb Plant, out of all those boys. Wait a minute. Spence will be pulling the same duck move Mikey did from Loma by running from Bud to fight Canelo. People will praise Spence for losing, even though he just didn't want to lose to the smaller guy in Bud. That's your truth. That's your truth, to, like I said, to make you feel better. If you said that to Errol, Errol will sit your ass down and check you on that. You feel what I'm saying? Errol will sit you down and check you on that. The thing is, you don't know what Errol Spence is going through to be at 147. And why not fight at 154? Why jump to 160? He jumped to 160 to take on the number one, arguably the number one pound-for-pound fighter in the world in Canelo Alvarez. That's not ducking anybody. It's not. It's not. But if it makes you feel good inside, stick to it. But it's not ducking anyone. It's not. Mikey Garcia fighting Errol Spence and then not moving back down. So look, it was a duck move for Mikey Garcia not fighting Lomachenko if he moved back down. You don't know. You're sitting from your couch and don't know the issues they were having in trying to negotiate that fight. There's people who think Loma ducked Mikey. It all depends on where you're sitting, right? Everybody got their own bias. The truth of the matter is the fight didn't happen. And Mikey took on Errol the True Spence, and that showed balls. That's it. Sometimes things don't happen. And when you start pointing the finger at one being afraid of the other, all you're doing is pointing at yourself and showing how biased you are. Because there's no way you can determine that Mikey was afraid of Loma, but not afraid of Errol Spence. He saw Errol Spence fighting a bigger guy was an easy way to duck Loma. That's such a bizarre, ridiculous thought to say that Errol Spence fighting Canelo Alvarez is a very strategical, crazy, manipulative, smooth way to be so afraid of Bud. Not even Bud thinks that. That's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And it's to whatever makes you feel is for you. That explanation is for you. You know what I mean? But honestly, I don't think Callum Smith can upset Canelo. I don't think Callum Smith can upset Canelo. I don't. But that says a lot about the 4 weeks. Callum Smith said that he's ready for Canelo. So when everybody else was talking about 4 weeks is too short for Callum Smith doesn't think so. Hit the Tyson bell. It may be too short for him, not me. That's how Warriors think. They're too short. 4 weeks. That's too short of a turnaround for him. He ain't ready for me. I'm ready. This is the biggest fight I've ever had. 4 weeks is the same for both guys. All right, man, look. Now let's talk about, for a quick second, Daniel Dubois versus Joe Joyce. How many of you guys believe that Joe Joyce can upset Daniel Dubois? People got Daniel Dubois as the favorite. How many of you believe Joe Joyce can upset Daniel Dubois? I need some coffee. If Pac wanted to fight Spence, do you think Errol would still move up for Canelo? If Pac wanted to fight Spence, do you think Errol would still move up for Canelo? I don't think Errol is directly moving up for Canelo. That's not even in stone. I don't even think he said after Danny Garcia, I'm moving up to fight Canelo. That's not even what he said. I don't think that's the case. I think all of it depends on how good he can make 147 after this training camp. I don't think he is saying I'm not going to fight Bud. I just said earlier, Bud is talking about not fighting Errol Spence more than Errol Spence not talking about not fighting Bud. I don't think that's what he's saying, but I think he would fight Canelo. But I don't think he's saying I'm not going to have another fight at 147. It got to be Manny Pacquiao. I think y'all going too far for that. But what I'm saying is, if that is too difficult to make and it's hard for me to make 147 now, like I was talking about with Roy Jones Jr., it's getting too hard, then I'm going to jump up and fight Canelo. But he's not moving no matter what. If that was the case, he'll say that he's going to 154 no matter what. That's not what's going on. So if Errol does, if they can make that Manny Pacquiao Errol Spence fight quick, lickety split, he'll fight Errol. If they can make Bud Crawford against Errol Spence, lickety split, he'll fight Bud. Bud got to get out the contract with Top Rank. He got to get out the contract with Top Rank quick now. And it looks like he is. He got contract issues. If he gets out of that fight and he goes to the PBC and that fight happens quick, Errol Spence fighting Bud. They're fighting. Brother, who is your top 5 at welterweight division? Who do you give Danny a chance against? Spence, thank you. Oh, and do you give, Danny is too good of a fighter to not have a chance against anybody. My top 5, Errol Spence, 1, 2, Terence Bud Crawford, 3, Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao, right? So the champs. 4 is probably Showtime Sean Porter, and 5 to me is Danny Swift Garcia. That's the 5, in my opinion. DSG exposing Spence. Manny win. Biz, why people counting Garcia out? 100. Because Errol Spence is just that dude. Errol Spence, so it's 2 reasons. Errol Spence is that dude. Danny Garcia, is hard to say he's that dude. So Errol Spence he's unified champion at welterweight. I see you guys want to talk about that, so we might as well forget the Daniel Dubois talk. And Errol Spence is unified champion at welterweight. He's the only unified champion. And he's beaten Kell Brook and Sean Porter. He has proven to be that dude. Danny Garcia lost to Keith Thurman and Sean Porter at the end of the day. So you got that dude against Danny Garcia. That's why people are saying that. Most boxing fans are casuals anyway. So they don't even know Danny Garcia other than he lost twice. So, no, he's not. How is he not that dude? He is the number 1. I don't think y'all can see it. At welterweight, number 1, Errol Spence Jr. That's welterweight. Number 1, Errol Spence Jr. I don't get where people at. He's not your favorite. Terence Crawford's your favorite, but Errol Spence is that dude. If Errol lose to Danny, where would he be ranked? He won't have any belts, so he'll be ranked under everybody with a belt. So he'll be over Sean Porter because he beat him. He'll be ranked 4. Manny Pacquiao has a belt. Terence Crawford has a belt. And Danny will have 2. Hold on. I think I missed a super chat or something. I'm putting 100 on Smith by decision. That's a good bet. That's a good bet. Hit the Tyson bell. That's a good bet. We can talk about something real quick. I just want to put this out there. Spence going to be able to set up his punches on Danny. Danny isn't he doesn't move like Porter. He doesn't really move all that well anyway. But I think Errol Spence is going to put himself in danger. Danny is a best. But he's going to put himself in position for Danny. Okay? Oh, beast, my bad. It's not about Danny catching Errol. It's about Errol being thirsty. Right? That's the reason why I think Errol would catch Bud Crawford. Bud Crawford is thirsty. He wants you out of there. So he will put himself in a position for Errol Spence to land good shots on him. Good shots on him. You know what I'm saying? All right, so look. I want to throw this out there real quick. I know people are kind of tired of it, but I'm going to do it real quick. Because I don't like the response I was getting. Look, everybody who was mad that I said Deontay Wilder had no legs. How many of you guys in here were mad when I said Deontay Wilder had no legs that fight? Because I'm going to help you feel warm and cozy. Not me. Wilder again. Nope. Hit the like button. Please hit the like button. Not me. Well, you can look at it. It's the same reason I knew Hearns had no legs against Hagler. He was falling all over the place. Not me. Your opinion. Nope. Not me. Warm and cozy. Give him a hug. Not at all. Look at that. Look at that. Nope. Spence. Everybody was fine. Hit the Tyson bell. Okay. Because I'm not going to have the few kind of represent the many up in here. So what else was I going to talk about today? So you have Canelo Alvarez, and you have Errol Spence, Iron Mike Tyson. So Iron Mike Tyson. Did you guys see Iron Mike Tyson this morning or maybe last night talking about how he is interested in fighting Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury? Hit the Tyson bell. Did you see him once again admit that he was trying to get a fight against Tyson Fury? Hit the Tyson bell. Did you guys see that? He admitted once again that he was trying to get a fight with Tyson Fury. Mike Tyson said that. Now, he's talking about exhibition more than anything. But here's the thing. He said they are in denial. Mike Tyson said, I don't want anybody's feelings hurt. But here's the thing, Mike. And I know you watch this community, and Team Tyson watches this community. Here's the thing. Exhibition or not, if you beat Tyson Fury or Anthony Joshua, you will be seen as the best heavyweight in the world. I don't care. Exhibition or not, if Mike Tyson beats a Tyson Fury or Anthony Joshua, he will be seen as the best heavyweight in the world. Period. Because we know what an exhibition is. An exhibition is a fight. It's just not on the record. It's not on the official record, but it's a fight. Look, Roy Jones said, how is this not a fight? We got drug testing. We got no headgear. We got a small ring. We got the official gloves. We got a referee. We got judges. We got a drug testing. How is this not a fight? They asked Mike Tyson, when the bell strikes, when it goes, what's going to happen? Mike Tyson said, I'm going to be on him like flies on shit. Mike Tyson ain't pulling no punches on Roy. He said, as soon as the bell strikes, I'm on him. That's a fight. It's a fight. No, there are judges. It's a fight. I'm on him. So look, like I want to tell you guys, stay tuned. Stay tuned. Like Holyfield. Stay tuned. Yep. Yeah, Brent. I know that's right. Preach. Yeah. Stay tuned on what goes on after this. That's all I got to say. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. All right. So, hey, look, everybody, thanks for showing up, for showing out. I will be going live this weekend for Iron Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr. I will be going live also for Daniel Dubois versus Joe Joyce. If you guys want to hang around and talk a little bit more about Errol the True Spence versus Terence Bud Crawford, anything like that, I see there's 900 people in here. Everybody hit the like button. If you can, hit the like button. Give me up to 800 likes. Come on, y'all. There's 900 people. There's over 800 people in here. Everybody, take 1 second and hit the like button. Easy to do. If you guys still want to talk about Errol Spence versus Terence Bud Crawford, we can, if you want to do that. If not, we can go ahead and look. Oh, my God. Great love. The community. Let's go. Hit the like. Let me see. Boots Ennis. Yeah, he's dope. He's dope. We got to see more. Right now, I'm more excited about Ortiz right now than Boots. But should see my new video of Mike. Got you biz. Yes, I'm hyped for the exhibition. I'm out. My man said that's Floyd game now. Rick James, let's keep going. Okay, we'll keep going for another 15 minutes. Let me just ask you guys this. This is the encore. Do you want more Cooking Raw with the Brooklyn Boy? So let's talk about this real quick. In the war room, let's share some blood. Let me throw some meat out there to the swimming sharks out there. I see y'all swimming. Dun. Who's ducking who? Errol Spence or Terence Bud Crawford? Who's ducking who? Go ahead. Who's ducking who? Go for it. Go for it. Mike getting knocked out badly if he fights Fury or Joshua. That'd be great if he fights him, though, right? Hilo, thanks for the super chat. Nobody. That's the answer. Spence, Errol, Bud, Spence. Nobody's ducking, bro. Bud ducking. Nobody ducking. The promoters. Okay. Let's do this. If Bud Crawford doesn't leave top rank, is he ducking? If Bud Crawford doesn't leave top rank, is he? Yes. No. Yes. No. Yes. Yeah. No. 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 He's not ducking. If Bud Crawford stays with top rank, he's not ducking? How? Number one, Bob Arum disrespected the hell out of Terence Bud Crawford. Okay? He disrespected the hell out of Terence Bud Crawford. So if he stays, that's your opinion. I'm just asking. How not? Oh, there goes the super chat. That's how you tell me how not. Why can't Terence take 40-60? Floyd did it for Oscar. And why can't they make 50-50? Too much pride. It should be 50-50. But Terence is less of the B-side than you think. Terence is the number one fighter pound for pound. Does that hold anything? Does that hold any value? Terence Crawford is the number one fighter pound for pound. Does that hold any value nowadays? Are y'all just, wait a minute, what happened to hip-hop? Hit the Tyson bell. Y'all just talk about record sales now. How about hip-hop, bro? Who's a better rapper, Tekashi 6ix9ine or Black Thought? When is Black Thought going to get paid? Let's stop paying Tekashi 6ix9ine, bro. Terence Bud Crawford is the number one ranked pound for pound fighter in the world. Who's a better rapper? Nicki Minaj or Rhapsody? Nicki Minaj or Rhapsody? Y'all calling Terence Bud Crawford the B-side, and he's the number one fighter pound for pound. Come on, man. Come on, man. So let's get back to this. But no fan base. No fan base. Drake. Terence Crawford has a fan base. That's why we're talking about him. Hit the Tyson bell. Don't believe what you hear. He has a fan base. That's why we're talking about him. Now listen. Somebody brought up the car accident. Yeah, car accident was the best marketing thing, though that was terrible for his life and his family. It ended up being a blessing when it comes to marketing. If Bud stays with top rank, it's a duck. Bro, it may be a duck. If you can't. Even Bud told him, release me. Release the Kraken. Bud said, release the Kraken. Okay? I'm a Crawford fanboy. You don't have to tell me that I'm on his side. I just want to see it go down. Yeah, facts. I want to see it go down too. Look, Terence doesn't have to go home, but he has to get the hell out of here. He doesn't have to go to PBC, but he has to leave Top Rank. Hey, look, check out this idiot. Ernesto, check out this idiot. Biz is only promoting black fighters now. Shake my damn head. Everybody, listen to this dude. Biz is only promoting black fighters now. Shake my damn head. Look how dumb he is. Look now, I don't get at my community, but in the war room, he is a dummy. We talked about Callum Smith. We talked about Canelo Alvarez promoted that fight. We talk about Tyson Gypsy King Fury being a winner, fair and square. We talked about Danny Garcia. We talked about Mikey Garcia. The only black fighters that we mentioned was Errol the True Spence, Bud Crawford. Who else did we mention today? Daniel Dubois, Mike Tyson. He doesn't want me to talk about black fighters at all. That's his problem. Ernesto doesn't want me to talk about black fighters. That's him being racist. I'm going to mention black fighters. Sorry. Canelo Alvarez is the #1 pound for pound in the world. That's fine. But it's between him and Terence Bud Crawford. That's a strong argument. I was saying that Canelo Alvarez was the #1 fighter in the world way before everyone else did. Now I'm saying it's Terence Bud Crawford. But Canelo Alvarez, you can argue Canelo 100%. 100%. Bud should go independent. Right. You see how quickly that Canelo fight was made with Callum Smith? A fight that looked like it couldn't happen last year. You see how quickly it was made once he went independent? That may be the route. Crawford only fights shot fighters. He fought Jeff Horn for the WBO title. He fought to become undisputed at junior welterweight. So that means he's a 4-division world champion. So that means, or is it 5? I think it's 4. So that means, or is it 3? So that means your knowledge of Bud Crawford is very shallow. That means you only know of Bud Crawford at welterweight. So fine. You only know Terence Bud Crawford. Oh, he's 3. Okay. You only know Terence Bud Crawford at welterweight. So that shows just your ignorance. But if we're going to talk about him at welterweight, he beat Jeff Horn for the WBO title. Pound for pound isn't an official list. Anyone can have anybody anywhere. Oh yeah. So I'm gonna do it like this. Willie Pep is the #1 ranked heavyweight right now. How about this? I am the pound for pound #1 fighter right now. Though it's a make-believe list, it still have merit. Hit the Tyson bell. You pull a fighter out your ass, that doesn't make sense. It ain't gonna work. Can Thurman at his best beat Errol or Bud? Yeah. At his best? Yeah. Yeah, he can at his best. Terence Bud Crawford and Errol Smith are creating drama for their sales, so the tickets will sell when they do fight. No, I think they really want to fight each other. And in the course of that, it's helping. But that's not how it just goes. See, so everything isn't just a manipulating, well thought out average. These guys are fighters. They really want to fight, and they got bills to pay. Canelo Alvarez is fighting in 4 weeks because he got bills to pay. These guys got bills to pay, and they love fighting. They love blood more than anything else. Mike Tyson said he gets a boner when he punches a guy in the face. So there's a thirst for blood. And in the course of that, in the course of the true, genuine want to fight, there is a promotion going on with us talking about it and building it. But they're not all just fake trying to build and hype a fight and find the perfect timing. Not from these fighters. Things are more genuine than you think. You just got to talk to more fighters. You got to be around the game more. It's more genuine than you think. It really is. But if you're just looking at it as an observer from the outside, it's hard for you to know what's real and fake anymore. You start saying Kovalev, it wasn't a real knockout. You start saying there's metal weights and gloves. You start saying there's spiked water. You start talking, and it doesn't work. All right, so look, when it comes to my man talking about Terence Bud Crawford only taking on shot fighters, after Jeff Horn, it got pretty shot. Amir Khan was shot. Jose Benavidez got shot, literally. Well, Terence Crawford was shot in the head too, but Jose Benavidez, he was shot. But Kell Brook wasn't shot. But you think he's shot, but he wasn't shot. Mean Machine wasn't shot. Okay, so, but I get what you're trying to say. Like I said, I think Kell Brook was his steepest challenge at welterweight as far as namesake and abilities. But with Errol Spence. Okay, so I think we're falling off the rail. All right, everybody. Are we done? We're done. We're done. This was a great live stream. Thanks a lot in the war room. I need to get some breakfast. I need to drink some more coffee. Need to go ahead and get busy. Come by next weekend. Have your chance to win the Iron Mike Tyson autographed boxing glove. Come by Daniel Dubois versus Joe Joyce. We didn't get to all the subjects, so we got to go live maybe Tuesday. I got some stuff to take care of tomorrow, so we got to do a live maybe all this week leading up to this weekend. So I'm going to be doing more live streams this week, all this week. ShowBizz the adult. I'm out. Huh. Here we go. The awkward ending that you dig. There it is.